Welcome back to Bitcoin Advisors channel. My name is Chris, bringing it to you here from Westlake Village, California, where it is going to be another hot one today. And today's going to be a bit of a regular day. We're going to talk about Bitcoin, the underlying market dynamics. We're going to talk about Ethereum, the hype surrounding Ethereum right now. We'll take a look at Luna and Solana and maybe check out the Nasdaq, the dollar, and gold. And so what I want to start off here first with is open interest, currently coming in at 11.7 billion with a B. So almost getting up to the $12 billion mark. And typically when open interest gets above 13 billion, or call it 12, that's been indicative of some warning signs to be aware of a correction perhaps coming. What else do I want to check in on is the fear and greed index. We're still in the fearful zone, coming in at a 31. And that's, I guess, to be expected, as we had a bit of volatility following the Russia invasion of Ukraine. And a bit of dramas with the Fed and perhaps, them raising interest rates 0.25%. I think we're going to have 6 more rate hikes this year. So we'll be following along with that. But we just got the first 0.25% rate hike. And it does seem like the market is liking this. The thought of slowly raising rates and beginning to taper. That's been fairly good for the markets over the past couple of days. What else do I want to bring up before we jump in? So that's open interest, the fear and greed index, and then we can also take a look at the leverage ratio, which I imagine is probably quite high. Yes, at all-time highs. And then some of the coins today, let's see, over the last 24 hours, Loopring having a nice day. Mina, ApeCoin, Cardano getting a little bounce there at 11, up 11% today. Who else is on the board that I like? Tezos also. We were looking at that one just under $3 the other day, saying that could possibly be a decent buying opportunity. Yep. So that's pretty much it for today's big movers. Let's see if we have any losers. Any big losers today? Nope. We're mostly in the green today and over the past few days with Bitcoin. Really coming up and taking out this area on a 4-hour closure, and we are getting the golden cross right there. That's when the 55-day crosses the purple 200, and I am looking at this is generally bullish. Let's see, volatility is now decreasing. We lost the exponential there. However, we regained the exponential here. And are we seeing any bearish divergence? And I would say, yes, we do have a few drives as price has made 1, 2, 3. This is not a confirmed high or low yet, but if we do confirm that, that'd be, let's see, how many drives? That's technically not a lower high there, but so we'd have 1, 2 drives. Could there be a third there? No, I wouldn't consider that a high. So do we have one more chance to the upside? One more bounce to the upside? I do think that's quite possible. And once again, we've been talking about this ascending triangle for the past few weeks, saying more conservative investors are going to wait for a daily closure above 45,686. And some may front run it with a daily closure a little bit more aggressively above 44,400. And that would give us what we've been postulating for some time is very, very likely at some point, Bitcoin does want to put in a rally up into this area and create what's called a bull trap. So everybody gets all bullish, and where do bull traps come in? Right between the 0.5 and the 618 fib. So that's coming in at 54,587, between 50 and 54,000, somewhere in that range. That would look very good for a nice little bull trap. And why am I more leaning towards that? Well, we do have this on our secondary charts here, the monthly MACD crossing to the downside from a very, and we are about to cross that up on the daily, so that would be good. And here's the monthly MACD cross to the downside, which has produced some pretty significant downside moves in the past. So I definitely want to be aware of that. That is on the board for sure. And what else have we been talking about? Just kind of going over and over, same things here. I will throw on the primary chart again. And let's get to our daily time frame. This is the 5-day, sorry. So we've noted, and we've been going over these points for the past few weeks, but every time the 5-day volatility, the BBWP, has gotten this low, it has produced significant moves to the tune of about 45%. And right now, so again, just very quickly going over this, the last time volatility was that low back in December of 21, we did see a move play out from this high to the lows here. That's, excuse me, that was a 46% move to the downside there. This one was going to the upside. That was 49% to the upside. This one, 60% to the upside. And this one coming in here, 50%. And could we consider this one a low read like that? Yeah, I would say we could. And this one produced a move from, that was a 79% move. So yes, I do think a decent size move is incoming. And the question is it going to be to the upside or to the downside? And how would I confirm it? Well, we did just put in another higher low right here. So that's looking good on the daily time frame. And I would say, though, if we do start closing dailies back below 40,400, that's going to look good for a move back down to 38,000. Could we front run that with any other decisions? And any kind of a 4-hour below 41,700 very likely gets us a move back to 40,500. And that's the area I would be looking for Bitcoin to hold, 40,500 on a daily time frame. I don't want to see any closures below there. Otherwise, I'm going to expect a swipe back down to the $39,000 to $38,000 range. What else could we be looking at from a daily time frame perspective? Let me get rid of, how many horizontals did I put there? Okay. Well, let's check out daily. Sorry, the 4-hour is losing. The volatility is decreasing. So this does look like a bit more of a corrective bounce. What I would like to see is actually volatility. If this move is going to continue to the upside with any force, I would like to see volatility actually start to tick back up and regain the exponential. We will be crossing momentum back to the upside. As long as we close above 42,422 in the next 2 hours and 45 minutes or 54 minutes. I guess on an hourly, I think we're still looking pretty good. I don't want to see any hourly closures back below 40, call it 41,940. We will have several drives of hidden bullish divergence. And that's in an uptrend when price is making higher lows and the RSI is making lower lows. So you got this low here, and that's close enough is close enough right there. 1, 2, 3 drives. Popped it up to the top side of the range. It didn't quite get there yet. I would have liked to see it come back up to about 43,000. So is this just going to be another higher low in the making? I think that's a possibility for sure. And this is, flagging out rather nicely. And we did say a few days back, any kind of a daily closure back above this high would very likely beget continuation of the top side of the range coming in at about 44,450. And it does look like Bitcoin does want to make a rally up into that region. However, again, will be invalidated with any kind of a daily closure back below 40,000, call it 40,500. I think, what else do I want to take a look at? Maybe on the weekly. And we did confirm this as a higher low. And do we have any bullish divergence here? So, yep, coming back from this point, price is making higher lows, 1, 2, and that gets you a shot to the yellow 21. So is this party going to be over for a while? I don't know. I think we'll have to wait and see and find out. That's pretty much it for Bitcoin and the price action, the underlying market dynamics. Do I want to take a look at something on the 3-month? On the quarterly, we did get a test down to the 9 exponential. What about the 6-month? And maybe you want to have a little bit more price action history than KuCoin. Let's see. The BLX index. There's not much history on an asset that's only been around for, I don't know, is it going on 11 years? 2009 to 2009. Gosh, we're going on 13 years now. 13 years. So that means there's only so many quarterly closures. And do I see anything of note? I will say this. If we do get a tick below 29,381, very likely going to come down to that $25,000 level right here. On a monthly closing basis, that's going to be right in line with the green 55. And that would not look too hot. All right. I think I'm going to move it on to Ethereum. There's been a lot of hype around Ethereum. And here's something that has me a little bit more bullish in general. We did have a ascending triangle or a descending triangle that broke out a few days ago. And I would expect this to get hit, somewhere around 3,300. But really, For this one to really start the party again, I think we need to get above 3,400, call it 3,500. And I'd be looking at a test of the highs of this high at 38,300. Volatility is kind of losing some momentum here. We're kind of waning as we come up to the purple 200. Does it have enough to get sent through and hit this measure move? I think, yeah. I think it could happen. We are breaking this formation to the upside, and we did confirm some bullish divergence. And just in general, I think Ethereum had some news. So it says Ethereum just one step closer to solving a major criticism and beating Bitcoin. And what they're talking about is basically Ethereum's proof of work model is going to be switched over to proof of stake. And this is part of the news. So-called this merge is happening. It's going to make Ethereum much more energy efficient. Gas fees go down. You know, don't ask me the technical side. I just look at the charts, but apparently there are two chains right now. And they're going to be merged. Yep. More cryptocurrency validators stake, the higher their odds of being able to validate the transaction. So we're going from proof of work to proof of stake. And this process is less energy intensive, so it doesn't require using powerful computers to solve. The people that stake more Ethereum, they're going to have a greater chance of confirming transactions. So yeah, as of now, Ethereum has two chains. The old one is using proof of work. The new one is using proof of stake. Through a process called merge, Ethereum will combine both chains and move from proof of work to proof of stake, cutting its energy consumption in the process. What else did I hear interesting about this? I think that's all I'm going to bring up here. But yep, Ethereum is breaking out ever so slightly of this descending triangle, breaking out right about at the 75% marker. And how are we looking on the month? And we got a test of the yellow 21 again on the monthly. We've got about 8 days left until the month is over. How about on a 4-hour? Are we going to put in some bearish divergence? What is that? When price is making higher highs, but RSI is making lower highs. So yes, we are. That's going to be at least, that is going to be 1, 2, 3. If this does confirm as a high, I would target a move down to 2860 for a bounce right there. That probably looks good. How about on a 4-hour, on an hourly chart? Yep, we got the slew of higher highs, but a slew of lower highs on RSI, and it does look like we want to test down to the 9 exponential here shortly on the hourly. That's about a $20 move, not much. Volatility is increasing. Momentum is up as long as we're closing above 2,980. So does this move have a little bit left, a little more gas in the tank? Yeah, maybe. I think there's a good chance it does. It sounds like there's a lot of hype around Ethereum right now. And but where would I really be waiting to get bullish on this one again is a daily closure back above, call it 3,400. And I think that'll look like one big accumulation phase. And, you know, I'm looking for a target of 4140 after a daily break above 3,400. That's a first target. Second target is, wow, that'd be new all-time highs, somewhere around 5,300. So, yep, all this looks good right now. And on the daily time frame, the Stokes are getting way up there, so they will cross down. Momentum will cross to the downside with any kind of a daily closure below 3,000 bucks. That does not look like what's happening right at the moment. Okay, let's take a look at, so that's it for Ethereum. And where would I consider this kind of a failed rally here? I would say, yep, any kind of a daily closure back, or let's use the fib tool right here. Yep, back below 27. Any kind of a daily closure back below 2,700 is not going to look good for Mr. Ethereum. And I would say any kind of a daily closure back below 2,400, next target is going to be to fill this wick in right here at 2,143. Okay, that's it for Mr. Ethereum. Let's take a look at Luna. Again, we did get a new closing daily new all-time high, but if you notice on the weekly, we did not get a closing weekly higher high. And I would say, though, any kind of a weekly closure back above, call it a $1.04. And I'm looking at this as just a massive consolidation with next target here up at that's 140. Yep. Any kind of a weekly closure back above 104, and I'm looking for basically 140 to get hit. This one is massively bullish, and I did hear some news on Terra today. I forgot exactly what it was, but it sounded like somebody dumped another massive amount into their ecosystem. I think it was around $400 million, something like that. And this one is just looking massively bullish. But let's take a look at it on a daily time frame. And are we going to be printing any bearish divergence? Yep, we got a slew of higher highs, but this isn't a confirmed high or low yet. This is a low, this is a low, and here's a low. So we got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 higher lows. But are we getting lower lows in RSI? Nope, we only got a few there. What about this guy back there? Yeah, this is the guy. This is looking very bullish as we regain the exponential, and that would be 1, 2, 3 drives of bullish divergence, hidden bullish divergence, right? Again, so price is making all these higher lows, RSI is making lower lows. Momentum will remain to the upside as long as we are closing above 91 bucks. And you're going to have volatility start to turn up from a very, very low level. It is on the floor right here. And I would say this one very, very likely does get a shot up at least to the top side of the range. And I'm thinking probably about a $1.03. And that would come alongside Bitcoin. If Bitcoin can put in a little rally here and you know, get up to 44.5, that one would look good for Luna to be making some new all-time highs thereafter. What else did I say we're going to talk about? Nasdaq, and we did call this one out last week and said as soon as we confirmed this daily low back here on March 14th, that we had 1, 2, 3 drives of bullish divergence. Again, price is making lower lows, RSI is making higher lows, and that was likely to give us first target at the 21, the second target at the green 55. And now all I'd be looking for Nasdaq to do is get a daily closure above 15,200. It does look like it wants to at least test these highs. And right now it's looking bullish. Alongside a couple of big winners today in the stock market. Tesla having a nice moonshot over the past couple of days. 34% gainer there. How's MicroStrategy's doing with all their Bitcoin they're holding? That's not looking too great. That is not looking too great. But a rising tide lifts all ships, and the Nasdaq is heading back up there. What's Amazon doing? Amazon putting in a nice little rally here, and it does look like we got a gap down there. Would I consider that a gap fill? Let's see on a 4-hour. It does. I mean, close enough is close enough right there. I think that does look like it got filled. And how's our golds doing? Gold, we did say, hey, we're going to hit that. Oh, this is not the right chart. Let's look at gold. Yep, we did say, hey, very likely some people are going to be taking some profits there, but and once we broke this range here, we said any kind of a daily closure. I believe I was saying daily closure back above 1920, and that was very likely going to give us the move back to the all-time high. I do think people are, amid the war and inflation, gold is kind of, shining a little brighter here. So I do think gold will probably go and retest those highs again. And very similar to what Luna did when it retested the high, it sold off, and it looks like it wants to come back and do it again. Do we get one more sell-off here at 103? I do think that's rather likely. But again, just waiting for a daily, more like a weekly. Could you use a 2-day? Yeah, the 2-day got stopped out right there. And I would say you could use a 2-day to call this thing broken, or a 2-day above 99.50. Probably going to be good enough for me. What about the 5-day? How's the 5-day looking at? How's the 5-day looking here? Oh, what just happened? Is my recording software not working? Come on. And that's going to, oh yes, it is. All right. We're good to go there. What else do I want to talk about? Solana. It looks a lot like Ethereum on the daily. And I will point this out. Same kind of thing here. We got a ascending triangle. Wow. Here we go. Ascending triangle, and I would say the measure move off of something like this is likely to play out, and that would get us a target up right to that 120-ish region, 118. And I would say as long as we're closing dailies above 88, call it 86.72, as long as we're closing dailies above there, I would expect this to work its way up over the next few days or week or so. This one's looking good. We got momentum to the upside. We're expanding volatility from a low level. And let's see, we do have some bearish divergence formulating coming in from this high. So that could be the end of that party. Let's see. It's probably coming in from right there. Yep. So 1, 2, 3. So we haven't confirmed this as a local high, but any kind of, really, if we don't take out this high and then this high, then yeah, there's going to be some major bearish divergence formulating. This is a death cross coming in here on the daily. So in order for this to uncross itself, it's got a lot of work to do, but I do like this one for a short-term rally. And yep, I think I'm going to leave it off with that. How's this guy looking on the very short-term time frames? The 5 minute does look like it wants to come back down here to, maybe retest this guy at 94.15. But overall, yeah, we got a lower high on the 5 minutes, so that's not really anything to be too worried about. What about on the 4 hour? Do we have any bearish divergence formulating? Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Are these all coming in higher? One, two, three, 4. 4 drives up bearish divergence. Can we take out this high is the question. Yeah, these are slightly higher highs. So we might be okay. Might be okay. But this guy is going to be the last of the Mohicans right here. We need to get a daily or a 4 hour closure back above this guy. Otherwise, we are going to have several drives of bearish divergence formulating. And it could get sent back down. All right, that's it for today, guys. If you did enjoy the video, remember, we are not financial advisors. We're Bitcoin advisors. If you enjoyed the daily analysis, go ahead and click the subscribe button, give us a like, and that'll get you reminded for all the future daily videos we put out and other resources we drop. Also, if you are interested in learning about incorporating Bitcoin or any other cryptos in your IRA, there is a link in the description below. Thanks and have a blessed day. Take care.